I'm not going to do an advertisement for Pepsi, but if the people at Pepsi Max want to send me like a lifetime supply or something like that, I'm a big fan of Pepsi Max. The invigorating cola. It has like ginseng and extra caffeine and stuff like that to wake you up, and it's diet. This is a diet Pepsi Max, so I'm not sure. I think maybe all Pepsi Maxes are diet, but anyway, yeah. If you want to send me J-Real some Pepsi Max, go ahead. Like I said, I'm not associated with that company in any shape or form, but hey, Pepsi Max, it'll make you shit. I don't think that they want that as an endorsement. Anyway, here I am. I'm J-Real, and I'm not. This is very off the cuff. I ramble terribly, so be prepared for that. And I'm going to probably have to edit this down. Even editing it down, it's probably going to be at 40, 50 minutes long. So I don't even know if I'm going to send this if I'm going to post this, or if I'm going to send it to the Dead Pit guys to post, or what. I feel like I'm kind of askew, like it's at a slant or something. But if so, then that kind of adds sort of remember the old Batman show? A lot of times that was shot, at angles and such. Bam, biff, So you could pretend that this is forget it. Okay, probably the only thing I've done that's worth anything, even if it is worth anything, is this independent movie that I directed in 2002. Called Dawn, and some of you on the Dead Pit boards have seen Dawn, and I've got some nice comments from some of you, and I certainly appreciate you checking the movie out and appreciate the comments. There's here it is, Dawn, back, Dawn. In 2006, Tempe Video put out Dawn. Mr. J.R. Bookwalter runs Tempe Video. And if you're fans of indie horror, then you may know about J.R. Bookwalter. He directed a 8mm, shot on 8mm sound, Super 8, I guess, Super 8 sound film, a zombie movie called Dead Next Door. The Dead Next Door. It's notorious for the main reason it's like saying it's a good little zombie movie, but also that Sam Raimi financed or did a majority of the finance on Dead Next Door. That had liked, I think a short film maybe that J.R. Bookwalter had done, and decided to finance the Dead Next Door. But then he also puts out Dawn, it's 3D. He also puts out. Distributes, I think that's the main thing he does now, is distributes films made by other filmmakers, indie filmmakers. Well, anyway, I'm drawing a blank here, but go to tempevideo.com, www.tempevideo.com, and look over the films they have, and one of them is Dawn, and that's probably the best. If you want to purchase a copy of Dawn, that's probably the best place to get it, or if you buy it brand new, because Bookwalter went and pretty much the entire line of Tempe movies has been marked way down. Suggested retail price is down to like $15 for most of their movies, and if you buy it from Tempe directly, it's half that. It's 50% off the retail price. So you can get Dawn for like $8, $7.95 or something like that. And, but you can also go to Netflix. Dawn is on Netflix, and you can go to, I think Blockbuster.com puts it out now. So if you rent through that, you can check out Dawn. On the Dawn DVD itself, there's some extra. There's a few extras. There's trailers, Tempe trailers, including the one of Dawn. There's a commentary that I did with Ray Boucher, who plays the father. Casey Young, who plays Dawn herself, excellent little actress. Well, not little now, she's 16 going on 17. Be 17 in July. But anyway, Casey Young is in the commentary. Myself and Mark Sawyer, who did was the director of photography, did the camera work. And So we got that. There's the commentary's there. There's a gag reel, 17-minute gag reel, where it's just us goofing around and flubbing lines and stuff. That's pretty funny. That's one of my favorite features of the disc. But that's about it as far as extras. So anyway, I thought what I would do is maybe do maybe a small series of what you might have seen on a 2-disc Ultimate Edition Dawn release, and just post it on YouTube. And one of the first things I thought I would do is go over some of the props in the movie and their significance in the film and how I obtained the props and that sort of thing. Maybe 5 people would be interested in seeing such a thing, and those 5 people would probably be someone that's actually in Dawn or worked, as a crew member or something like that. But what the heck? It's YouTube, and that's what YouTube is for. It's for posting things that you'd want your family and friends to see, and, maybe no one else to see it. But if you've seen Dawn and enjoyed the movie, maybe you might find something that's interesting. About this human father with a 10-year-old daughter who happens to be half vampire. Mostly she's a vampire. She has to drink blood in order to live. And she's a living, I sort of invented my own creature, my own version of what a vampire is. And in this case, I wanted to have the vampires be living creatures. They're not undead. They're not supernatural beings. They're actually born of the earth. They're part of an ancient race of creatures that used to exist on Earth and that were slowly, through evolution, were, for the most part, extinct. Because, humans took over as the dominant race, and the Venator, as I call them, Venator meaning, I believe in, well, it's another language, it means hunter. I decided to make these living creatures. They give birth, they live, they die. They're not superhuman, although they are stronger than humans after a feeding, blood feeding. They do have not so much a psychic ability, but they have a empathic ability. They can feel human pain and suffering. They can feel when someone's in pain, sense it. That helps them hunt, because the vampires in my movie hunt on the elderly, the sick, people with terminal diseases and things like that. In a way, they give them a mercy killing. They're kind of like the old Dr. Kevorkian. They give someone a peaceful, fairly painless demise in return with the life-giving blood that they get in return. They have to feed on blood. Human blood is the only thing they can live on. And so that's the case with Dawn, this 10-year-old daughter of this human father who has to stay on the run with his daughter. And it's kind of like a road movie. They have to keep moving, go to these, towns. She'll feed on someone, and she drains them of their blood because she needs so much of it. And she only feeds once a week, so she needs a big dose of this blood. And, can't live off just, here and there, maybe feed on her father, could sustain her for like an hour or two, but then she has to feed. And so she has to kill in order to live. Okay. First of all, if you've seen Dawn, you know that Dawn has a best friend besides her father. Someone that has been with her entire life from birth. Her father steals a teddy bear from a woman's house who has been killed because Dawn's mother, Sarah, had to feed before she could give birth to Dawn, so she would have the strength. And so she gave a woman a peaceful out. There's a teddy bear on a stand, cabinet sort of thing, and on the way out, John steals this teddy bear so that the baby can have something to cuddle. And the bear turns out to be Penny. Penny the bear. And when I wrote the story of Dawn, the bear was always named Penny. because I had, growing up as a little kid, I had a dog that was kind of a copper-colored dog named Penny. And so I named Dawn's teddy bear Penny. And then later, in prepping for the movie, going to one of the major discount stores in America, you probably know which one I'm talking about. Every small town probably has one. Mahia has one. It's about the only place you can go to get anything. I found a copper-colored teddy bear that it was like manifest destiny or something, fate, whatever you want to call it. And I said, my gosh, there's Penny. I've got my Penny for Dawn. And this is Penny. Penny the bear. Here you go. See? He's copper colored. Yeah. You know, he's dull now, kind of dulled down, but when I first bought him, he was really kind of a shiny copper. You know, actually like a penny. You know, shone like a penny. And this is Penny. Penny the bear. And I don't know if that's what it's called. It's, on the tag, it's Kelly Toys, something like that. But anyway, I don't see these anymore. You know, I bought 3, 4, 5 of them, and I don't see this particular bear anymore. So it might be a collector's item. And maybe someday, if any, you know, let me know if there's any interest out there. I may put one of these bears up on eBay. In fact, this may be the one I put up on eBay. This is the one that Ray S. John actually takes off that cabinet in Dawn. This is the one. This is the actual bear right here. So this bear was in the movie, and maybe I'll eBay it someday. You know, in the comments here, you can put if you're interested in such a thing, because you know, if I'm going to give up a major prop in the movie, I hope there's going to be some interest in that. If not, you know, like I say, it's a little low-budget movie, so no one may want this damn thing. But anyway, yeah, maybe this might be auctioned off someday. But anyway, and I bought different bears because in the movie, the Penny goes through a transformation because Dawn has had this bear for 10 years. So obviously it's going to get some nicks and cuts and some tears and go through a sort of a transformation over the years. And if you'll remember, there's a scene at a campfire where Dawn is holding Penny and she's telling a story that she's really upset as she's telling the story. And on pure accident, poor kid, she beheads Penny. She accidentally, in her state she's in, she's so upset as she's telling the story, and she's holding the bear, she's telling the story, and she accidentally beheads the poor bear. And she's so upset, you know.
Oh my God, I killed Penny.
Oh my God, I killed Penny. She didn't actually kill Penny because Penny's not alive. But anyway, to her, she actually killed a best friend. She beheaded a best friend of hers that's been with her entire life. So this is the stunt bear, the stunt Penny, that I beheaded for that scene. And you can see that, you know, it's got a duct tape on a piece of duct tape on its ear. It's got a Band-Aid on its nose. It's got some duct tape on its back here because, you know, Penny has to be repaired, you know, throughout the movie. Throughout Dawn's life, it has to be repaired. This is, I think this is the first Penny you see in the movie. This is the one that's in Dawn's backpack, which, here's the backpack right here. And when she's at the very beginning of the movie, Dawn is, you know, putting on her shoes, she's getting ready for the morning, and in the backpack you see Penny. And this is the Penny that you see in the backpack. This Penny this is before Penny gets beheaded, and it's got that little piece of duct tape, it's got the Band-Aid on its nose, but it's in pretty good shape, you know. But after Penny gets beheaded, Dawn has to put Penny back together. So if you, there at this roadside park thing, you see Dawn is putting duct tape around Penny's neck and putting Penny's head back on. And so this is the third version of Penny. Yeah, third version of Penny. with you've got the Band-Aid on its nose, you got the duct tape on its ear, and duct tape on its back, and now duct tape around its neck because its head has been reattached. Now, really, all I did was just put duct tape around the bear's neck. I didn't actually tear its head off and then put it back on. So anyway, the third version of Penny. The third and final version of Penny, I guess you would say. And if you remember, when Penny's name is revealed, it's right there, Penny. Yeah, can you see that? Yeah, because Dawn wrote Penny on there. Okay, so that's the deal with Penny. Now let's see what other goodies we have in here in the backpack. This is the backpack in Dawn that Dawn carries around throughout much of the movie. That keeps her stuff in it. Okay. Now let's get to a very, very important aspect of Dawn. It's a vampire movie, and vampires need fangs. And in Dawn's case, it's not something that, like in the traditional vampire movies you see, when they're upset, when they're in their vampire mode, the fangs they extract from their gums, and then they go back when they're calm and peaceful, I guess you'd say. With Dawn, her fangs are permanent; they're always there because that's just the way she is. She's a living creature, vampire creature, and she's always got her fangs. So, we had to get some fangs for Dawn, and so what? The first version of the fangs that we got for Casey Young, who plays Dawn, was there was a dentist in Waco who I had contacted about doing a mold for Casey, a mold of her teeth, so that I could send off to a website that does fangs, that makes custom-made fangs. And she said, well, I can do that. I can do it a lot cheaper for you. She goes, I do it for like friends for Halloween and such, And I think she was an orthodontist, or did some sort of orthodontic work. She wasn't just a dentist, but she did some sort of aspect of dentistry. So let's just call her a dentist. But anyway, I said, great. And of course, it's in Waco, which is 40 miles away from Mexia, so it was reasonably close by to go there. And Casey's mother had done a mold of taken Casey there when she lived in Dallas, which is about close to 100 miles away from my head. So, quite a trip back and forth. And I said, well, just have her go to her dentist and get a mold and then just mail it to me. And she mailed me a mold, but it wasn't like this kind of stuff. It wasn't this, dental material, cement or whatever you call this stuff. It wasn't that hard. It was kind of a soft sort of gummy mold. And when I sent it to the woman that did the mold, Carol Campbell is her name, she said, well, I need something solid. I need that solid, cement mold. But I'll see what I can do with it. So she made a set of things for Casey that looked great. When Casey's hunting in the woods at the beginning of the movie, that's the things that we used. And when you see them, they look great, but they were really flimsy. And that was the first day we shot with Casey, and they broke by the end of that day. They actually broke in half. It was something. It was like kind of like a retainer that had the fangs on each side of it, and it just slipped over the front of the teeth. And they looked great, but they broke. So we had to actually take Casey to Waco, to Carol Campbell's place on a Sunday. God bless the woman. She opened up for us on a Sunday, a day off, and made a mold a mold for Casey. And you'll probably see a picture there of Casey getting her mold made. And anyway, here is the tops. Anyway, here it is. Can you see that? And there's Casey's. There's a mold of Casey's teeth at 10 and a half years old. Yeah. And from that, she made the fangs. And the thing is with Casey, at that time, I don't know if it's still the case, but at the time, she didn't have a tooth. Normally where in a vampire movie, the fangs are, I don't know what the name of the teeth are, bicuspids or whatever they're called, but they're on each side here. Thing's sticking to me. But there's a fang there, and there's a fang here, usually. Well, as you can see right there, there's not a tooth. She was missing a tooth there. So we had to make her fangs on these two front teeth here. And if you've seen the movie Lost Boys, that's how their fangs are. They're on the, they're closer in on these two front teeth. And that's what we did with Casey, which I think turned out great. I think they look, for someone as small as Casey was, I think that's the kind of things that should have been made anyway. And they look fantastic. I mean, they look like she was born with. Okay, and there's two versions of those things. Here's the first version. I don't know if you can barely see them. And they're grimy. I don't think I ever cleaned them because I tried cleaning them one time and one of the fangs came off and I had to super glue it back on. So anyway, let me see if I can get real close here. Can you see that? Okay. And what it is as you can see, it's a plastic kind of retainer material, and the fangs are attached to that on both sides. And it's something that she just, of course it would fit me, but they slip in over these front teeth here and just popped in. And there's one shot, and I may show it here, where Casey's, the cop is like peeling back Casey's gums and to reveal her fangs. And there's an extreme close-up of her fangs, Casey's fangs, Dawn's fangs. And to this day, I cannot tell where her teeth begin and where her teeth end and where the fangs begin, because it looks like her teeth. I mean, just perfect. I'm so proud of the way those fangs came out. And she made two versions. Carol Campbell did make two versions of the fangs. This is the second version. These, I don't know if you can tell, but these are longer than the others. These come to more of a taper, and they're longer. These are the ones we use for most of the movie. And just, man, I'm so proud of the way the fangs came out. The ones that Mindy Raymond as the mother, Dawn's mother, plays in the flashback scene we did, those were those, I forget the name of the fangs now, but you can buy them online. Those were just, they had this sort of a mold material that you heat in hot water, and then you bite into it, and it makes a mold of your teeth. And so, because she had the normal kind of fangs that go all, the other two teeth, So, those were fairly cheap. But Carol Campbell gave me a pretty good deal on these fangs, custom-made fangs. I think all three that I did all together cost about $120. And that's about what they would charge for custom fangs, one set of them, And another thing you may recognize is, if you remember, there's a scene where Dawn is in a arm wrestling match with a kid. She goes to the park. One thing Dawn is not able to have is a normal childhood. She rarely interacts with other children. It's kind of a tragic, lifestyle this poor kid has to live, and on the run with her father all the time. And because she has to sort of stay in hiding, she can't interact with other kids and really have a normal life of a kid. Doesn't go to school and none of that. And her father, at one point says, "Look, let's go to the park. Let's just have some fun. I want you, get out there, play with some other kids." And doesn't even know what playing is really, and that's so sad. But anyway, I don't want to get too deep into this, but anyway, there's a scene, probably my favorite scene in the entire film, is Dawn goes to the park, and there's these kids that are having an arm wrestling match. As a boy, and he's competing with other boys, and he's beating them, and they ask for the next challenger. Who's next? And Dawn raises her hand. Here's this little 10-year-old kid that's like, half the size or under of this kid that's challenging everyone to the arm wrestling match, and Dawn challenges him. Well, the thing about Dawn is she's stronger than most people, most humans, particularly after a feeding. And she had fed, earlier in the movie. that's one thing. They're not superhuman, but they are stronger than normal humans. And so Dawn has the advantage here that this kid doesn't know. And of course, she's not going to go around telling everyone that she's a vampire with extra human strength. But she sort of, jokingly challenges this kid to an arm wrestling match, and he's, oh, well, okay, why not? I can beat this little girl all the hell and back. And Dawn beats him. And the winner of the arm wrestling match gets a medal. And the medal is a yo-yo. It's a pink yo-yo with the number 1. It's blurry now. It's faded and blurry. Can you see it? I don't know if I'm holding it. But anyway. And a shoestring for the necklace. And they get the medal. And Dawn gets the number 1 medal. And to me, that's just, there's some emotional scenes in this movie. But the one that really sort of chokes me up is when Dawn wins the arm wrestling match. That is so... Once you see the film, you see that the way that the film transpires, you see the ending, you see what Dawn goes through, the fact that she interacts with kids, that she has a good time, that the kids accept her as just a little girl, and she wins that arm wrestling match. And later she gets her first kiss, which is, oh gosh, don't get me started. I'm getting verklempt. Anyway, but let's get back to brass tacks. Okay. Now, Dawn, as I say, has permanent fangs that are there all the time. She can't hide them. Well, she can't hide them, because the reason why she can hide them is because her father, by a sheer coincidence, he went to dental school. He was going to be a dentist, and he got a degree in dentistry. He almost got a degree in dentistry. He dropped out, I believe, in the 4th year or something like that. But he knew a lot about the making of false teeth, and so, since Dawn has fangs all the time, he made her a set of dentures that would fit over her fangs and make her look normal, human. And these are actual dentures that I got off eBay. These actually belong to someone. Can you imagine someone actually put their dentures on eBay? But they did. I did a search, and I was looking for props, and I found a set of dentures. And I thought, okay, well, there we go. And so I bought the dentures. And so these are the fake teeth that Dawn's father made for Dawn, so that when she's out and about in the world, she wears these so that she just looks like a normal little girl, and they don't see her fangs. And when she's about to go on the hunt, of course, she takes out her fake teeth, and she has fangs, which are her normal teeth. Those are the teeth that she was born with and will always have. Now, the scene, the flashback scene where you meet Dawn's mother, Sarah, she's a full-blooded vampire, the kind of creatures that I invented, the Venator vampire. She's full-blooded. She's not half anything. She's not half human or half vampire. She's the full thing. And so when her and John, the human, get together and procreate, and Sarah becomes pregnant, it's a first-time deal. It's the first time that Venators have ever mated with humans in my story. And so they don't know what's going to happen. And whether the child is going to be like Sarah, have to feed on blood, or be like John, be just mostly human. Turns out, of course, that little girl is born, and she ultimately becomes 90% Venator. She has to feed on blood, and she has the fangs and all that. Anyway, when Sarah is pregnant, this is something that Tracy Villanueva, that plays Penny, another Penny, not the Penny the Bear, but Penny, there's another character named Penny in the story, which I love these sort of interact. I like to sort of have these connections with characters that are connected in ways that they don't realize they're connected until later in the movie. There's other movies like that you'll see that, the Coen brothers are good about that sort of thing. Putting in characters that have a connection to each other. I like that. And so I did that in Dawn, where I had this character named Penny, who runs the kind of the penny saver kind of, penny pincher is the name of the store, but it's like a Goodwill, But anyway, the girl that played Penny in the Dawn, Tracy Villanueva, and she's actually in the movie as Penny, but she also found me, I don't know where you get these things, I guess at a maternity clothing store or something like that, but it is an actual, I don't even know if I can stand up because I'll be out of frame, but it's a pillow thing, and it's like I say, it's got a Velcro strap on the back, and I guess so that when women are when they're in their early stage of pregnancy, so they can try on maternity clothes, they can put on this thing and put over their whatever they're trying on, the dress or whatever, to see how they'll look like knocked up. So, yeah. So when you see Sarah knocked up in the movie, pregnant in the movie, that's what you see. You see, this is what it is. It's this maternity pillow thing. And, yeah. And, of course, I don't know where she got it, but, God bless her for it. I didn't know where in the world I would get something like this. I was going to stuff a pillowcase under her dress or something. But anyway, here you go. Got this maternity pillow, I guess, so women can see what they're going to look like pregnant when they're trying on clothes. Now, another thing that is a vital part of Dawn is the policeman's gun. The ending of Dawn is a mixture of, it's kind of, I guess you would call it bittersweet too. Dawn and her father are in trouble. Dawn has done something that she can't take back. She's done something vicious and criminal, and they're being pursued. And a policeman was involved in this mishap. And when they go on the run, Dawn's father John steals a policeman's gun, and this is the gun he steals. This is the gun. And what it is actually is this little booklet here. I got this off eBay too. Electric blowback pistol. And there you go. So that's what it is. It's 1.1 scale high grade airsoft gun, BB airsoft gun. So it shoots some. I think it shoots some sort of like plastic BB looking things, which I never loaded it and never will. But it actually has the features of a Beretta, some sort of Beretta gun. I think it's plastic, but the movie is shot in black and white, so I think that helps sort of sell the look of the movie, sell the look of the gun. But it's supposed to be modeled after some sort of Beretta gun, I think. And it actually has the the loading feature, I guess, cocking or whatever you call that. Guns terrify me. I don't like guns, but anyway, very important. This is important. One of the most important props in the movie is the gun. Is the cop's gun. And there it is. That's what that is. Also, another important prop is Sarah's necklace. Dawn's mother, Sarah. She has a cross necklace that you... I'm not even looking at the camera, am I? There's a lot of times I'm looking this way. I don't know why I'm doing that. But anyway, that's the cross necklace. And Dawn, they go looking for the remains of Dawn's mother, which I guess I can give that away. Dawn's mother died during childbirth, so that's why John, Dawn's father, has to raise Dawn himself. And that's the cross necklace that is uncovered late in the movie and that Dawn inherits. Yeah. So I guess that's about it. Here's a Bloodies t-shirt. When Sarah first meets John, John's feeling suicidal, about to take himself out. That's when he first meets Sarah. And Sarah has just come off a feeding. She's just killed somebody. And she's a very sloppy eater, apparently. So yeah, this is the shirt that she was wearing when she had gone on her feet. Still besmudged and bespeckled with blood, fake blood. That is a few of the props in Dawn. There are more, but I think that was probably, whether you call it interesting or not, that's probably the most interesting. And once again, please check out Dawn. I keep looking over the side here, but anyway, please check out Dawn. Give Dawn a try. Netflix it, Blockbuster.com, and then if you like it, why not pick up a copy? And like I say, TempeVideo.com would be the best place to buy Dawn. You can get it probably the cheapest there, unless you got it used somewhere. And look, you buy a copy of Dawn, and I'll see what I can do about giving you a little something extra. I like to reward people for their supporting of the indie filmmaking field. So yeah, I've got like some Dawn sell sheets that there's not many of them left, but there's something that it's got an advertisement of Dawn that. Let's see here. Yeah, this is a Dawn sell sheet, and this was sent out to distributors or sent out to like websites and places that sell DVDs to advertise Dawn. There's not many of these left, and buy a copy of Dawn, and I'll send you a signed one of these. Yeah. Send me your address, and I'll send you a signed one of these. That would be a reward for actually purchasing the movie, Because, hey, I'm the same way as you. I mean, I'm very thrifty with my money, and so I understand that the tendency to go and Netflix it, and then, some people may think about, I can just copy it. You shouldn't do that. It's illegal. But, I won't judge you. But if you do buy it, I'll send you a signed copy of the Dawn sell sheet. And while supplies last. I'll sign it, and I'll see if maybe I can get Ray to sign it. Ray Boucher, that played the father. But anyway, I guess that's it. I'm looking at this, and I've just noticed I've been looking over here a lot, and so that's very strange. I don't know why I did that. But anyway, there you go. I'm Jay Real. That's my first little, a video about the making of Dawn, going over the props. So comment on this. If you enjoyed it, maybe I'll do another. Maybe, maybe tour some of the locations that Dawn was shot in. Maybe interview some people that were involved in the movie, that sort of thing. Because, like I said, this is a very, very low budget movie, and so, is there any interest in seeing the behind the scenes of something that's so small like this? But we'll see. Comment and let me know. And I won't bug you guys again if you're not interested, or if you are, maybe I'll find some other aspect of the movie to cover. But until then, this is Jay Real. Please keep going to deadpit.com to subscribe to the YouTube channel, deadpit.com's YouTube channel. Of course, check out their radio show. Great stuff at deadpit.com. Ray Boucher and I have got some more interviews coming up for the YouTube channel, so keep checking those out. Certainly appreciate you have been watching those, and I hope you enjoyed them.